Hi. So I'm Kelsey. If you don't know, I am a body image and self-image coach, and I have been wanting to start a YouTube channel for like a year. So I figured what better time to do it than now, and here we go. So this is just going to be a space where I can upload some videos, I can teach tools, I can share what I'm doing in my personal life, and I can answer questions, things like that. The videos aren't going to be anything fancy. They're just going to be like me talking, you hopefully listening. We'll see. But yeah, so here is my first video. Thanks for watching. So I wanted to talk to you about my word of the year. This is something I've been doing for the last couple of years, and I really like it. I kind of lapsed a little bit last year. I didn't really choose a word until like halfway through the year. And then I don't think that I chose it mindfully enough, although I had good intentions. So I'll start with like what my word of the year is now, I guess. So I chose it today. It is human, which sounds kind of funny, but let me explain a little bit. So my goal for this year is to just embrace having a human experience. So what does that mean? Well, a human experience, you think you would know because you're human too, but let me tell you my interpretation of it. A human experience is one that is full of equal parts positive and negative emotions. A lot of times I think that we have this belief that we should always be striving for positivity, we should always be striving for feeling good, and it's not that those are bad things, but sometimes what ends up happening is we start resisting or rejecting the negative feelings, the negative experiences. We're not leaning into them in order to, embrace the experience. And so, and more importantly, we're not processing our negative emotions. And I really think that the last year, 2019, was a really big year for me, and I worked on a lot of stuff within myself as well as outside of myself, and in starting a new business and becoming a coach. So I had this sort of issue that I was working on last year, which is that I have this sort of unconscious thought that I've created that I should be more than human, that I should be superhuman. And because that expectation is so high, I then don't even come close to meeting it, and then I sort of self-ridicule over how much I wasn't superhuman, which is so funny when you really step back and look at it. It's really what it is sort of a form of self-sabotage, which I will cover in some other videos. So what I want for this year is I don't want to be superhuman. Like I want to embrace the humanness in me, and that means like embracing and processing negative emotions, but I think it also means letting go of the things that I have sort of latched onto that aren't serving me, by being able to process them rather than hold on to them and see negative experiences as something completely normal, completely valid, and completely worth experiencing. I'm hoping that I know that's going to teach me so many more skills. Like I'm going to be leveling up so much this year just based on this simple concept. So really quick, I just want to tell you what some of my previous words of the year were. My first word of the year ever was trust. I think that trust is something that's sort of infused in all of my words since then, or at least I try and have that sort of on the back burner. Trust, self-trust is always something that's very important to me. And that year was a year I didn't have any, basically. I didn't have any self-trust. And so that was like the year that I built like the platform on which all of my trust sits. So the next year after that, after I had spent time building trust with myself, my word was bloom. I wanted to kind of move outward with my word. I wanted to start sort of accomplishing things outside of my inner work, while still working on that too, obviously, but I wanted to stretch out a little bit. So that was my idea with that word. So that was great. So then the year after that, which I believe was 2019, I had a lot going on early on in the year. In January, I was moving and doing all this stuff, and so I didn't really choose a word until maybe March or April or something like that. And the word I chose was unshakable. So what I had in mind with the word unshakable was I had just become a new coach, and I was starting to work with clients, and with the topic of self-image and body image, it can be emotional. And so I really wanted to be unshakable. So that was my word, unshakable. I wanted to be able to be the strong, steady presence that could hold space for any client under any condition with any story, and help them feel safe and understood so that they could move through that, with the help of a coach, me. So I still really love that word in some ways. However, I don't think I was in the place emotionally to have such a kind of rigid word. I needed something more flexible, because I also needed, it's really wonderful that I wanted and still want to like be there for other people, and especially for my clients and things like that. I really needed to be focusing on like inward. I needed a word that had some sort of gentleness to it and acceptance to it that I felt unshakable didn't have for me at the time. And so I'm kind of excited about this new word, because each year when I choose a new word, it feels like I've learned all these new things, and now there's like these new gaps in my experience that I get to fill, and new things I want to focus on. So yeah, so that's why this year is humanness. I just want to have a human experience. And so yeah, I don't know. I guess that is my experience with choosing a word of the year. But I want to know what your experience is. Is this something that you've ever done before? Is it something you're interested in? Do you have any ideas for a word of the year? Or have you already chosen one? Or is there a reason that you're not going to do something like that? Yeah, so let me know. And thank you so much for watching this little video, my first video. I appreciate it so much, and I really hope to be able to provide everyone with more fun content here, as well as on my Instagram. If you want to learn more about how you can work with me, you can go in the description. There will be a link for setting up a free consultation call. You can also check out my Instagram, where I have a bunch of awesome free content. You can learn a little bit more about the things that I teach and who I am. So thank you so much for watching.